Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Watch my video and subscribes my channel. Sheila becomes an accomplice to a crime and Luna calls Will. At Bill's apartment, Liam makes a grand speech to Hope about wanting her back. He pushes her to say the same thing. Hope tells Liam that she loves him and their family. She thought he was dying, which made her think a lot. She's so happy that he's going to be in her life, but she's engaged to Carter. Liam gets why Carter wants to be with her, but what does she want? Liam Hope bed and breakfast. What will Ridge ask Carter? At Forrester, Carter informs Ridge that he wants Hope to be his wife. He wants their future to start immediately. He feels it's time his fiancée transferred her emphasis from Liam and back to him. Ridge admits that he has been patient. Carter says that Hope is with him and that now is their time. Carter, as usual, jumps the gun and asks Ridge to be his best man. Carter Ridge B&B. Rising to the situation, Ridge tells Carter that he still thinks Hope may be using him. But if this is what he wants, then he's got himself a best man. Carter slaps his comrade on the back in relief. Will's discussing his sex life with who? At Il Giardino, Electra asks Deacon to keep an eye out for an earring she lost at the party. She praises him for hosting. It's a night he'll never forget. Speaking of, at that same time, Will's at work, reliving the sex he had the night of the party when his mother enters into the room. She senses something is wrong. What happened? She asks. After some pushing, Will tells his mother that something definitely happened, but not what he thought. More, Luna's get out of jail, free pass. As Electra is telling Deacon that Will would never do anything to injure her, her lover is telling his mom that he was with another lady wearing Electra's mask. She was gone when he woke up. He was positive it was his lover, but she says she didn't come back. Who was I with? He wonders. Katie knows he would never knowingly do this to Electra. Will confides that Electra's now claiming this is the night for him, and he's full of remorse. More. Disgusted fans criticize Will's rape. Will Sheila do the right thing? At Lee's apartment, Sheila crosses her arms in dismay as she repeats that Luna got to be with Will, but he thought he was with Electra Forrester. Having no care that she committed a crime, Luna gushes that it was a fantastic night. She adds that it might affect her life forever. Luna Sheila B&B. They rehearse the facts of that night again, and Sheila keeps stating that Will thought he was with Electra. Luna laughs because she gave him what his fiancée wouldn't, and certainly never would if she finds out he was with someone other than her. More, Annika Noel. Will Hope choose Carter or Liam? Making herself an accessory after the event, Sheila counsels Luna to play it smart and not to screw around with her freedom. Luna repeats her new mantra that last night might change everything for her and Will. Sheila Luna B&B. Sheila returns to the restaurant in time to hear the end of Deacon's girl conversation with Electra. In particular, the line where he promises her no one has anything to worry from Luna Nozawa ever again. Sheila commented on Electra coming back to where Will had a night he'll never forget. At Forrester, Katie promises she won't tell what to do, but then she goes ahead and does just that when she proposes that will not tell Electra what occurred. As she goes, Will gets a text from an unknown number reading, "Last night was wonderful." He says, "Who is this?" Luna replies, "Your secret admirer." Will crew text from Luna B&B. Who will share a kiss? As Carter moons about Hope in the main office at Forrester, Liam's at Bill's house making their engagement all about himself by pointing out to Hope that he pushed her into it, assuming that he wouldn't be around for long. A romantic flashback montage plays of Lope's brighter moments. Liam assures Hope this time it would be different, sure, Jan, because it would have to be forever. He's positive Carter would understand her taking the ring off. We're not so sure about that. As the music swells, Liam vows that all she needs to do now is come back to him. Hope quivers as he plants a kiss on her and pleads, "Come back to me." At Bill's mansion, the scene unfolds with a storm brewing outside as Liam Spencer paces the room, his mind a tempest of what-ifs and lingering regrets, the echoes of his past choices colliding with the present chaos that Hope Logan now embodies in his life. The flicker of the fireplace reflects off his anxious eyes as he finally makes his grand speech to the woman who has haunted his dreams for months, pleading for a second chance and a future that was stolen from them by circumstance, by fear, and by his own stubbornness, while Hope listens, torn between the promise of stability with Carter Walton and the undeniable pull of the man she once built her life with, the father of her child, the man whose near-death scare had forced her to confront her deepest fears and most profound desires, telling him softly that she loves him and their family, but that her heart has been trying to move on, to find safety in Carter's arms, even as her soul trembles under the weight of Liam's words. Each syllable a plea, each pause a knife. Across town at Forrester Creations, Carter is having a very different conversation with Ridge Forrester, declaring his intent to marry Hope as soon as possible, to stop letting Liam's shadow hang over their relationship like an ominous cloud, and to claim what he believes is rightfully his. A future, a marriage, a life with a woman who has always been half in and half out, and Ridge, ever the realist, warns him that Hope may still be using him as a rebound, as a bandage for wounds not yet healed, but nevertheless agrees to stand by him as best man, slapping him on the back with that trademark Forrester bravado, while quietly thinking that this wedding might never actually happen. Meanwhile, under the dim neon glow of Aiel Giardino, Electra Forrester flirts with Deacon Sharp while casually mentioning an earring she lost at the party where her boyfriend, Will Spencer, had a night that would alter the course of his entire life, a night of blurred lines and mistaken identities, a night where Luna Nozawa, wearing Electra's mask, entered his orbit and his bed, leaving behind confusion, guilt, and a gnawing sense of betrayal that Will cannot shake as he relives it at work, only to be interrupted by his mother, Katie Logan, who senses the tension rippling through her son's usually composed exterior. After some prodding, Will confesses that he was with another girl, not Electra, that he was tricked, that it felt real until it wasn't, and now he is drowning in guilt, while Electra, in another part of town, assures Deacon that Will would never hurt her, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing beneath the surface. The true puppet master of this dark ballet, Sheila Carter, stands in Lee Finnegan's apartment with arms crossed, listening as Luna gushes about the night she spent with Will, a night she insists was magical, even as Sheila reminds her that it was a crime, that Will thought he was with Electra, that this could destroy not only his relationship, but Luna's freedom if the truth ever came out. Yet Luna, intoxicated by the illusion of love, repeats her mantra that last night could change everything, that this was her chance to rewrite her story with Will. And Sheila, ever the opportunist, begins to see a way to leverage this scandal for her own survival, making herself an accessory after the fact as she counsels Luna to stay quiet, to play it smart, to keep her mouth shut while the world continues to spin. Later, Sheila drifts back to Aiel Giardino, her ears catching the tail end of Electra's conversation with Deacon, where he assures her that Luna is gone, that no one has anything to fear from her again, a statement that curls Sheila's lips into a knowing smirk as she remarks on the irony of Electra returning to the very place where Will's unforgettable night began. Back at Forrester, Katie advises Will to keep the truth from Electra, to bury this night like a corpse in the desert, believing she's protecting him when in reality she's deepening the pit he's already falling into. And as she exits, his phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. "Last night was wonderful," it reads, and his heart stops as he replies, "Who is this?" Only for Luna to respond with a chilling, "Your secret admirer." In the same breath of the Los Angeles night, Carter moons over Hope in the main office, convinced that their engagement is the beacon of their future, while Liam at Bill's house makes the moment all about himself, telling Hope that she only said yes to Carter because she believed Liam was dying, that now with his future restored, their love deserves resurrection too, a bold declaration that culminates in a kiss as a flashback montage plays of their once golden days, their family, their laughter, their heartbreak, their promise. And as the music swells, the fate of 3 lives hangs in the balance. Carter's dreams of a wedding that may never come, Liam's desperate bid for a love that might already belong to another, and Hope's trembling heart caught between the past and the present. While somewhere in the shadows, Sheila Carter smiles because chaos like this is the perfect camouflage for the secrets she's helping bury, the crime she's now tied to, and the dangerous future she's willing to risk everything for if it means staying in Will Spencer's orbit long enough to rewrite her own legacy. All as Luna, the wild card in this sordid game, sends one more message to Will. We're just getting started. And the night deepens into a storm that promises to pull every Forrester, Logan, Spencer, and Nozoa into its relentless undertow, from Brooke's eventual discovery of Ridge's doubts, to Steffi's whispered suspicions about Luna's true intentions, to Finn's professional ethics being tested as whispers of manipulation, masks, and betrayal filter through the corridors of the hospital where he works, knowing that somewhere in this web lies a choice that could either destroy his marriage or finally expose the dangerous alliance forming between Sheila and Luna, an alliance that might not only ruin Will and Elektra's romance, but set the stage for the next catastrophic chapter in Los Angeles, one where loyalty is currency, truth is a weapon, and every kiss is either a confession or a trap waiting to spring. The storm over Los Angeles refuses to settle as night turns to dawn, and with it comes a chain of consequences that none of them can control at Bill's mansion. The embers in the fireplace still glow faintly while Liam lies awake on the couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying Hope's hesitant words and that lingering kiss, wondering if he's ignited an ember in her heart or merely trampled on the fragile line she was trying to draw between her past and her future with Carter Walton, whose confidence grows like a weed at Forrester Creations as he brags to Ridge over morning coffee that Hope's hesitation is nothing but pre-wedding jitters, that her heart already belongs to him, blind to the quiet way Ridge furrows his brows. Because Ridge knows a Logan woman never kisses her ex-husband just for nostalgia. It's always a signal, a reminder that history is a powerful rival. Meanwhile, at Il Giardino, Deacon sweeps the floors in the early hours, thinking of Elektra's missing earring and wondering if it's a clue to something far darker, a breadcrumb left behind in a night full of blurred lines and whispered sins and across town. Will Spencer sits at his desk, staring at the cryptic messages from Luna Nozoa, his guilt, a living thing coiling in his gut as he imagines the look on Elektra's face if she ever learns the truth, that her boyfriend was with another woman wearing her mask, that it wasn't consent so much as deception, that the girl is now taunting him with texts that feel like both a love letter and a ransom note. His mother, Katie Logan, phones him again, reminding him to keep quiet to protect his future, her voice thick with maternal worry, but also with the memory of her own youthful mistakes. Mistakes that cost her dearly when secrets came to light. And as she hangs up, she whispers to herself that Sheila Carter can't be far from this mess. She's always somewhere near when lives start to unravel. Across the city, in Lee Finnegan's apartment, the air crackles with the aftertaste of conspiracies as Luna paces in a silk robe, her hair damp from a shower that did nothing to wash away her obsession. She clutches her phone like a talisman, rereading Will's messages, whispering his name as though invoking a spell, while Sheila leans against the kitchen counter, arms folded, sipping coffee with the same calm she once used before shooting people in the back, reminding Luna that silence is safety, that she must not overplay her hand, that her freedom depends on restraint. But Luna, a creature of restless youth and twisted infatuation, refuses to heed the warning, insisting that this is fate, that will understand, that he is destined to be hers now, that she's given him what Elektra never would. And Sheila, ever the opportunist, begins plotting how this disaster might actually strengthen her position in the Spencer-Forrester war, because a secret this potent is leverage, and leverage is power, and power is the only thing that has kept her alive this long. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, Hope Logan tries on a new dress in the design office, staring at herself in the mirror, her fingers brushing the engagement ring Carter gave her while her mind drifts to Liam's kiss, the way his voice cracked when he said forever, the way their history wraps around her like the fabric on her skin. She tells herself she's being foolish, that Carter offers stability, respect, a clean future free of the chaos that Liam always drags behind him. But then the door opens and Liam steps in with that half-smile, half-challenge look in his eyes, holding coffee and saying he thought she might need one. And in that moment, the lines blur again, the room shrinks, and the possibility of undoing everything she's tried to build feels terrifyingly easy. On the other side of town, Electra visits Katie, worried about Will's strange behavior, her instincts telling her something happened that night. Something more than a lost earring and a few drinks. Katie, torn between loyalty to her son and the young woman she's come to like, dances around the truth, saying we'll just need space, that the night was chaotic, that sometimes men carry burdens they don't know how to share. But Electra is no fool. She senses the storm beneath the surface, and as she leaves, she texts Deacon to ask if he's seen Luna around, unaware that Luna at that very moment is drafting a message to Will. I can still feel you. Tell me when we may meet again. By evening, Sheila makes her boldest move yet, slipping into Il Giardino under the guise of helping Deacon with the books, but really to plant seeds, whispering to Electra that she heard Luna was seen near the party, that masks can hide more than faces, that sometimes love is a trickster. Her words are honeyed poison, designed to turn Electra suspicious, to keep her looking at shadows while the real puppeteers move in daylight. And as the city lights flicker on, the three main threads, Liam's relentless pursuit of hope, Carter's fragile confidence, and Luna's dangerous obsession with Will, begin to intertwine. Carter proposes an impromptu trip to Aspen to cement their bond. Liam counters with an invitation for Hope to revisit their favorite cabin with Beth, and Will, caught between guilt and fear, types and deletes 100 messages before finally writing to Luna, "This has to stop. You can't contact me again." But he doesn't send it because deep down he knows this is only the beginning, and somewhere in the shadows Sheila Carter smiles, because beginnings are where she thrives, in chaos and secrets, in the cracks where families break apart and alliances are born. The storm spread even wider across Los Angeles as the next chapter of this saga unfurled, carrying each character further into the undertow of their choices, their secrets, and their unspoken desires. At Bill Spencer's mansion, Liam sat alone after a restless night, his eyes fixed on the first light of dawn filtering through the curtains, still tasting Hope's hesitation on his lips. That kiss that was supposed to be the key to their reconciliation, but instead felt like a question. Mark hanging over his future, a fragile, trembling question mark that only grew sharper with each passing hour, because Hope hadn't called, hadn't texted, hadn't given him any assurance that she was ready to break Carter Walton's heart to heal her own. Carter, meanwhile, strode into Forrester Creations with the air of a man certain of his place, boasting to Ridge about wedding plans, about a future filled with stability and designs that could never be torn by the turbulence Liam carried in his wake. But Ridge, still haunted by the kiss he saw between Hope and Liam at that ill-fated party weeks ago, reminded him with quiet steel that a ring does not make a promise keep itself. It is the heart that decides, and Hope's heart, in his view, was a compass spinning out of control. Elsewhere, Katie Logan found herself standing on her balcony, peering down at the silent street, her phone heavy in her palm after another unanswered call to her son. Will, who sat in his office reciting Luna Nozoa's last message over and over in his mind. I can still feel you. Tell me when we can meet again. His fingers hovered over the keyboard, torn between the urge to confess everything to Electra Forrester and the instinct to bury the truth where it could never breathe. Guilt gnawed at him, but so did something else. Curiosity, that dark seed Luna had planted when she tricked him into that night, that masquerade of passion which now threatened to become a nightmare he couldn't wake from, especially as Electra began asking pointed questions about her missing earring, about gaps in the timeline, about why Will seemed to flinch whenever her name crossed his lips. At Lee Finnegan's apartment, the walls felt closer than ever as Luna twirled the earring she'd found on the floor that night. Electra's earring, a token of her conquest, a symbol she intended to return not as an apology, but as proof. Proof that she could be what Electra refused to be. Proof that she could give Will something forbidden and unforgettable, even if he hadn't asked for it. Sheila Carter, watching her like a hawk, finally lost her patience and gripped Luna by the shoulders, hissing. That obsession was a luxury only the innocent could afford. That women like them, women who played with masks and secrets, had to be twice as smart to survive, that she was already risking prison by staying silent about the truth, and now she was risking exposure with every text she sent.